Lately, we've been seeing Bitcoin's price moving sideways, and we've also been waiting to see how things are going to play out with the approval, hopefully, of a Bitcoin ETF here in the United States. The SEC, it looks like they are delaying things a tad bit here, even more, but there is a possibility that what could be coming next would be big. And this is highlighted in this article. We're also going to be talking about the price movements. And guys, I will have a link to this article down in the description below. So to get things started, let's go ahead and take a look right now at the general market. We can see that Bitcoin is up just a tad bit. It is still above $29,000. It is at $29,446. We have Ethereum at 1,850, BNB at 240, and not much movement overall across the board. Some of the few exceptions, we have Ape, which is up 6.72%. We also have, let's go take a look over here, XRD. This one is up 7.73%. And then we have another deep green one, which is Pepe. Pepe up 7.82%. Then when we go and take a look at the Bitcoin trading on the charts here, we can see that the 50 moving average, the green line, is starting to slant down some while that 200 is still sloping upwards. That's not ideal. We do not want to have that crossover. That would signify a death cross, which would be very bearish. But there's still plenty of room between the two. Just ideally, we want to see things starting to kick up. Do keep in mind also, we have the volume going downwards over the last 4 days. So ideally, we're going to see an uptick in volume. Keep in mind that tomorrow is a Sunday. Sundays normally don't have a lot of volume activity unless there's something really dramatic that seems to come out in the news. So chances are volume's going to be pretty low tomorrow. I would suspect we would likely have a little bit more volume than today because it is extremely low right now, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's on the Bitcoin side. Now for BNB, after a 3-day drop down in price, we have a little bit of green here on the day. So again, it's just following inside this consolidated space. It really feels like everything is starting to pinch together really tightly here. You can even see volume is really small throughout these days, suggesting that this is going to have some sort of explosive burst, like when you wind up a spring. Hopefully on the upside. And then we have Ethereum. Ethereum, after having finally broken out from following down on this trend line, it did have that nice green candle there on August 8th. It's seen some pullback for 3 days, a little bit of green on the day here, but similar to Bitcoin, we do see that 50 moving average, that green line, is starting to slant down just a tad bit. And unfortunately, the gap between these two is not as big as what we saw over with the Bitcoin side. So if Ethereum does cross over into a death cross, that could also end up pulling Bitcoin further down. If Bitcoin does fall further down and it ends up having its own death cross, it would just be a compounded effort that would not be good. Does not mean it's going to happen. We have to see how things continue to play out. There's still time, there's still room, and realistically, we've had so many bad events take place that I think the odds are starting to work more in our favor that some good news would be coming. But we'll have to wait and see. Now moving on to this article from Cointelegraph, the SEC decision on Bitcoin ETFs won't leave out Wall Street giants. The Securities and Exchange Commission's prolonged deliberation over a spot Bitcoin ETF is stoking expectations of a joint decision for all applications. The Securities and Exchange Commission's delay in deciding whether to approve a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, or known as an ETF, in the United States is fueling expectations that a final verdict will come in a batch that includes key players on Wall Street, including BlackRock and Fidelity. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on the SEC to approve a number of these ETFs, particularly because the approved futures-backed products are lagging spot performance substantially, harming investors. Markets veteran and co-founder of CoinRoutes Dave Weisberger told Cointelegraph, adding that all pending applications will likely be included in a final decision. So think about that. If they approve all these at the same time, we're looking at much better odds opportunity of things being bullish. It goes on here to say the SEC is analyzing a total of 8 applications for a spot Bitcoin ETF following past delays and denials of the crypto product in recent years. Companies Up for a decision are ARK Invest in 21 shares, Bitwise, BlackRock, Van Eck, Wisdom Tree, Invesco, Galaxy Digital, Fidelity, and Valkyrie. Together, the firms manage over $15 trillion in global assets. On August 11th, the U.S. markets regulator opened a 21-day comment period for the ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF. As per the filing, the SEC is seeking answers on whether ARK 21 shares proposal is designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices, as well as whether the Bitcoin market is susceptible to manipulation. Furthermore, the regulator raised concerns about Coinbase's surveillance sharing agreement, asking commenters to examine whether Coinbase's participation in the ETF surveillance would, in fact, help to detect, investigate, and deter fraud and manipulation in Bitcoin's price. The SEC's main concern about spot crypto ETFs is about the potential market manipulation by a big whale. Theoretically, it can happen if the SEC approves the ETFs of one or two investment funds. But if it decides to register all 8 ETFs, it will sharply mitigate the probability of manipulation because these firms will be able to trade with each other frequently, taking opposite sides, explained Ruslan Linka, Chief of Markets at UHodler. The delay had a lesser impact on Bitcoin's price, hovering around the $30,000 mark at the time of writing, according to Mauricio de Bartolomeo, co-founder of crypto lending platform Ledin. Traders, investors are expecting the SEC to take all the time they could, with today's decision having a low impact in terms of market expectations. The SEC still has 2 deadlines before a final decision is made. The third deadline for the ARK 21 shares application is due by January 2024, so that's just a couple months away. Crazy to think, right? We're already getting closer to 2024. Valkyrie has the latest application in line with 2 upcoming deadlines in January and March next year. The Bitcoin ETF outcome could reshape the crypto investment landscape. According to Linka, an approval could potentially bring over $70 billion in liquidity to the Bitcoin market. The opportunity to invest in Bitcoin through ETFs will give regular investors more confidence. As with professional help, they don't have to dive into all the technical details and analyze potential risks by themselves, he noted. Okay, so personally, I think that with what's going on with the Bitcoin price at the moment, I don't think everyone is sitting by right now like, oh, let's wait to see if the Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved. We've been waiting for years for the Bitcoin ETF to try and get approved, and so far it's just been delays, and the SEC is really just junk. And so looking at those factors, realistically, I think people are just waiting for that move. And the market, when it starts to make its run, if people want to jump in on it, great. We do have the news about Sam Bankman-Fried going to jail. I made another video talking about that. You guys should go check that out. If Bitcoin ETFs do get approved, I think we have a very strong chance of seeing a rally with Bitcoin. People have talked about that in the past, saying that a Bitcoin ETF would be very, very bullish for Bitcoin. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. And that's what I got for you guys in this video. So thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Thank you to my YouTube members for your support as well. God bless, and we'll see you in the next episode.